Modern life teaches us a simple idea that stress is the price we pay for difficulty. We assume that the harder life becomes, the more anxious the mind must be. And yet, medieval life was undeniably hard. People faced hunger, disease, war, and uncertainty as part of ordinary existence. Comfort was limited, security was fragile, the future was never guaranteed. Still, historical writings rarely describe medieval people as constantly overwhelmed, anxious, or mentally exhausted in the way we are today. This contradiction forces an uncomfortable question. Why do we living with safety, comfort, and technology feel more stressed than those who lived centuries ago? To understand this, we must look beyond hardship itself and examine how stress was experienced, understood, and released. For medieval people, stress arrived in waves. A storm destroyed crops. A sickness spread through the village. A journey carried real danger. These moments were intense, but temporary. When the threat passed, the mind was allowed to rest. Stress did not linger endlessly in thought. It was not replayed every night. It was not analyzed, optimized, or predicted weeks in advance. Modern stress behaves differently. It does not come and go. It accumulates. Deadlines overlap. Responsibilities multiply. Problems remain mentally active long after action is no longer possible. The medieval mind faced danger. The modern mind faces permanence. This difference begins with how time itself was experienced. In the Middle Ages, time was not divided into minutes, notifications, and alerts. It was shaped by bells, daylight, and seasons. Work began when work was possible. It ended when darkness arrived. There was no expectation of constant productivity, no pressure to respond immediately, no belief that every moment must be filled. When the day ended, it truly ended. Modern life removes this boundary. Work enters the home. Messages follow us into rest. Thoughts continue even when the body stops. Rest becomes incomplete, and incomplete rest becomes stress. Medieval people did not need permission to rest. Rest was not something to be earned after exhaustion. It was assumed as part of the human condition. Religion and tradition reinforced this rhythm. Prayer marked the hours. Holy days interrupted labor. Festivals forced pause, regardless of urgency. These rituals did something subtle but powerful. They reminded people that not everything depended on them. There were forces larger than individual effort. God, nature, fate, season. Control was limited, and that limitation reduced anxiety. Modern culture teaches the opposite lesson. We are told that everything can be optimized, controlled, improved endlessly, and when outcomes fall short, the mind turns inward, searching for blame. Medieval people accepted uncertainty as a feature of existence, not as a personal failure. This acceptance softened stress before it could take root. Community also played a crucial role. People lived among others constantly. Families worked together. Villages shared responsibility. Loss was witnessed. Hardship was spoken aloud. Fear was rarely processed in isolation. Stress moved outward into conversation, ritual, and shared silence. Modern stress moves inward. It becomes private, unspoken, internalized. We carry it alone, even when surrounded by people. Physical labor further shaped how stress left the body. Medieval work was demanding but tangible. Effort produced visible results. Fields were planted, walls were built, tools were repaired. The body released tension through movement. Fatigue was physical, not mental. When work ended, exhaustion brought sleep, not rumination. Modern stress has no such outlet. It accumulates while sitting still, while staring at screens, while replaying imagined futures. The body remains idle. The mind never rests. And perhaps, most importantly, Medieval people did not expect happiness to be constant. Joy arrived in moments: a successful harvest, a shared meal, a festival day. The rest of life was neutral, not unhappy, not joyful, simply lived. Modern life expects happiness as a baseline. Anything less feels like something gone wrong. This expectation alone generates stress. When happiness becomes mandatory, normal life begins to feel like failure. Medieval people were not calmer because life was easier. They were calmer because life had clearer meaning. They knew what was within their control: their labor, their conduct, their faith, and they accepted what was not. Stress, after all, is not created by difficulty. It is created by resistance. Resistance to limits, resistance to uncertainty, resistance to reality as it is. Perhaps the problem is not that modern life is too demanding. Perhaps it is that it never allows the mind to stop reacting. Perhaps it is that we have forgotten how to let stress end. If you could recover just one medieval way of relating to stress, not avoiding it, but releasing it, what would it be?